Hey y'all, it's Megan. Welcome back to the channel. Glad y'all are here today. So it's October, about the middle of October. We're in zone 7A and it's time to start planting some garlic. In my opinion, garlic is one of the easiest things to grow, but there's a few things you need to know. So y'all just stick around and we got a few tips for you if you want to grow your own. First thing Andy's gonna do is till this bed up just a little bit with his little tiller. If you remember, this was actually our sweet potato bed. We just recently got those up, so we're coming right behind it with the garlic. First tip I'm going to give y'all about planting garlic: make sure you're planting it somewhere you're not going to need. Because this garlic, we're planting it, like I said, it's October. We will not harvest this until around July or August. That's something we run into for years when we were planting garlic, is we was planting it somewhere, and then when it was, early summer, we needed where it was. So
that's actually why we created these beds out here in the yard to begin with.
Yeah, for those of you that are new, actually Andy made these beds last year right here in our yard.
That was last year already?
Yep. And that was the reason that he made this one originally. This is where the garlic was last year, because we were running out of room and we didn't have a place we could leave it for the time that it needed to be left. So we do plant a variety of hardneck garlic. The wonderful thing about garlic, though, is we can just plant what we harvested this summer and just plant it right back, so you kind of have an endless seed source. And the good thing about the hardneck garlic is you do get the scapes that you can cut off of it. I was new to scapes until this year, but I have thoroughly enjoyed them, putting them in different things, stir fries and such. They are delicious. So Andy's just healing it up right now, making his rows. So we'll have two different rows here, and then a place where we can walk in between. We don't have to worry about compaction too close to our plants.
I want to help y'all plant garlic.
All right.
So next I'm gonna go get a couple bucketfuls of compost for the tractor, and we're just gonna scatter that out right over top of these rows we've made here. And
Back in there.
I'm not going to worry about working it into the soil or anything. I'm just going to leave it laying right on top of what we got. Once we have the garlic planted, we'll then mulch over everything with a thick layer of hay. But like I said, I'm going to get the bucket. It'll probably take 3 or 4 scoopfuls at least, won't it?
Probably.
But we'll cover these rows really good, and then we'll put our garlic in the ground.
Megan's mowing down our bed over here so we can winterize it. I bet he did. Was that fun mowing it? Yeah, it was thick. It was thick, that was for sure.
Now I'm just going to spread out this compost nice and even across the top of the bed, and we'll be ready to plant. I got a little heavy with it right here. So we're putting them in the ground at 3 across, and then we're running the rows out that way. So I'm putting 3 crossways all the way down the hill. You want to keep them roughly 4 to 6 inches apart. You know, that right there is a good measurement to go by. But we're just going to continue this all the way down, and all you got to do is stick them right down below the ground level.
You make sure the root side is down.
Yeah, the bottom side, and then the pointy side up.
I knew there was some kind of trick to plant. Oh, tiger! Did y'all say hi to me?
And this is one reason, if you're wondering why Andy tilled this, you know, you make it soft, right?
Yeah, make it soft so it's easy to go down in there. Which it was already pretty soft. I just mainly wanted to till it to mix everything that was still on top of the ground from our sweet potatoes, mix it up.
Okay, don't cover them yet.
So the main thing of having these walkways and stuff in between our beds, or in between our rows here, is so that this does stay loose and fluffy. If we were out here walking on this, we'd be packing it down. So just try your best to stay off of the part you're actually planting into.
Next tip for planting your garlic after you've got it planted in the ground, it needs a good layer of mulch to overwinter and to keep it warm in the winter time. So we use hay. You can use straw, you can use what all can use.
I wouldn't use nothing like wood chips or anything like that, but definitely straw and hay. We have plenty of hay, so that's what we use.
But this kind of keeps it insulated for the winter. And if they're calling what we did last year, they called for some real cold weather, cold spell that we ain't used to having here, and we came out here and we put an extra layer over it.
So another benefit to mulching your garlic really good is the fact that this is a crop that stays in the ground for so long. You know, there's a good chance to have some really bad weed pressure in your garlic patch. Putting down an extra layer, I mean any type of good layer of mulch, will greatly benefit your garlic because you'll help keep that weed pressure down. The next thing we're going to do this evening is go ahead and put this bed and that little bed over there to rest. We won't be needing them anymore. We don't have anything we're going to plant over the winter. So instead of just leaving it alone, which we could very well do, we have mowed down the peas that were in here, and we'll just leave that there because that's more material that'll decompose and benefit the soil. And what we're going to do is go over it with a decent layer of mulch and just wrap everything up for the winter. And as the winter goes on, that mulch will break down, which we're using hay, so hay breaks down pretty quick anyways. But that'll break down pretty quick over the winter, and next spring when we're ready to plant this bed, it'll probably all just till right up, work all that into the soil, and we'll just start all over again with a fresh rested up soil. And I like it. The earthworms and everything will come up, and as that hay decomposes and as the pea material decomposes, the earthworms and all the stuff will just feed off of that, and this thing will be ready to go come spring. So you always hear me preach about cover crops. This is another way that you can put your beds to rest, and if you have smaller areas, this may be the easier way for you. So instead of us trying to get a seed or something started on this, we're just going to wrap it up as long as you keep that soil covered. Look at all the pea seeds on the ground.
piece. Holy. Oh, yeah, I got coming today. Ah.
All the gardens are mulched with hay. So we're keeping the soil covered up even though it's not a cover crop. And then our garlic bed is here in the middle.
They're all ready for wintertime. Bring it on.
Yep. So a few tips again. We'll go over the tips we said one more time. Make sure you're planting your garlic somewhere you can leave it for almost a year. We're planting it in October. We won't harvest it till July or August. Make sure you're planting it with the root side down. Oh, okay. Make sure you're planting it with the root side down. When you do plant it, cover it with a good mulch layer for it to last over the winter and to keep your weeds down. And make sure you're not just planting enough to eat, but enough to plant again next year.
Yep.
That way you don't have to keep buying seed garlic over and over and over again.
Well, y'all, I hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe you get out there and plant you some garlic. And anyways, I guess that's it for today.
We really hope you enjoyed this video. If this video taught you a little something, or you learned something, or you just enjoyed it, please consider giving us a share and subscribe to the channel if you hadn't already. And anyways, guys, we'll see you on the next one.
Have a good one.